And I just took my DNA test, done dada, 100% Nigerian. Baba, when you gonna learn can't frame a earner. Came with the noose, I freed myself like Nat Turner. Sucker free, purge myself from the parasites. Marcus Garvey likes on my Instagram, Garveyites. Rebel tone, born in the middle of the cyclone. Revelation talker, that's the beast with the 10 horns. And I just took my DNA test, done dada, 100% Nigerian. Baba, when you go.
Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited because I did do the My Heritage DNA, which is a little different from my Ancestry DNA because it's a little cheaper. And yes, I do have a toilet mug with my name on it. I always wanted one, so for a Christmas gift my coworker gave me this. But let me put this up. So anyway, I came back majority West African, 71%, give or take. Y'all saw the stats. West African and about 21% Irish. I'm just gonna dive right in. The reason why I chose my Heritage DNA, one, because it's cheaper than my Ancestry.com, and they also said it's the best one as far as accuracy on DNA and percentages. My Ancestry DNA is good for finding past relatives, like third cousins and all of that. I know people who found their ancestors from before Jesus was born. So I was like, don't necessarily want to know that because I do know my family back to the 1800s, but I did want to find out what their origin was because they didn't look like slaves, they looked like bourgeoisies. So I did it. I got my results. I was really shocked at first. I was just like, huh? Kenyan? Everybody was like, that has to be wrong because you look white. And I was like, y'all, I did say I was 21% Irish. They are pale, okay? Pale. So I was like, I had to grab that gene. And people were like, I don't know if it's true because it says Nigerian. And I had another coworker who did it. She was like, I don't want to be Nigerian. And I was like, look, quick history fact. 12 million slaves were taken from the West African coast. The majority of them came from Nigeria or Ghana. And 10 million made it over here. So if you're of African American descent or if you're black, you should have some type of West African blood in you, some type, okay? Even if you're from the islands and all of that, they came to the islands, okay? So you should have some type of West African blood in you. If you have anything further than that, like let's just say you were predominantly Kenyan, a lot of the times the slave traders didn't make it past the Congo. So might be that they weren't slaves, they just truly migrated over here because not all African Americans that were here were slaves. So I thought that was really cool. I do want to do the My Heritage DNA, my Ancestry DNA, just so I can match, just to see if the results come back, because I have heard of these identical twins that took all these tests. All of them came back different. I mean, it could be a liability, a possibility that it's a lie. And another thing that I've heard from people was, oh, that's the government knowing way too much about me. Y'all, if you were born in the United States and they gave you a shot or your mother was pregnant, they already have all of that information, okay? They already do. As soon as your mother was born, and they, especially if she was like in her 30s, they've taken her blood to make sure that you didn't have any type of deformity or anything like that. If you've ever been pregnant, they've done all of that on you already. They've already tested a woman's DNA to find out about the child's health. So they already have that information. So get that out your head. Okay, your iPhone is more of a government tracker than you doing the My Ancestry DNA. But to kind of backtrack and going into me finding out more of what I am, I went and looked up all the last names on both sides of my family, my mom and my dad. We have Montgomerys, Lees, Morgans, Bynums, Sterlings, and that's all that I can think of right now. But on both sides of my family, I have Montgomerys. So I looked up Montgomery, Morgan, and Lee. All of them were Irish, Scottish, or Welsh last names. I mean, direct. It wasn't like oh, it could possibly be. Like, no, it was direct. Like, this came from Ireland. Like, it even has a family crest when I looked it up. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, y'all. It's like, oh. But I was like, okay, so it might semi be right about the Irish thing. And I do know that we do know our slave owners, and I want to say their last names were Morgan. which to me, I was just like, dang, well, I guess I can't claim Creole no more because obviously they probably weren't from France. I mean, maybe they were really from Ireland, and since they were in Louisiana, who knows? Maybe they just learned some French or whatever the case may be. But we always assume that if you're from Louisiana and you're light skinned and you're automatically kind of like Creole. But I mean, hey, you know, that might not be the case. So I would suggest, if you want to start by doing something without necessarily paying money to take a test, start off with your last name. Start off with the origin of your last name, because white people can trace back their last names for centuries. Heck, they got whole kingdoms and all kind of stuff. They were very big on last names and surnames. As far as people in the village, I highly doubt it. I don't know, maybe, but a lot of times that information was lost once they came over here. But if you have any form of European in you, I'm pretty sure one of those last names could probably be traced back. So I would definitely start with that. I will probably let you all know whether or not I think it's fake or legit once I do the My Ancestry DNA. But so far, I think they were right on the Irish part. I don't know about the African descent, but one of the things that I did want to do was have my grandmother and my mom take it, because I know for a fact I have Native American in me. Like, my great-grandfather was pure Native American, and that did not pop up on the test at all. But also, when you say Native American, indigenous people can be indigenous people from South America, which I did have a little bit of Spaniard and Italian in me, but just a small percentage. That can be Asian, because they did cross the Bering Strait from Asia, and there is a lot of indigenous Asian people who look African and Native American. So the term Native American can kind of be spread about. I'm a big history buff, so that is something that I've always been very interested in, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to take the test. But so far, I kind of believe it. And hopefully when I take the other tests, if they come back extremely skewed and, you know, maybe, I don't know, then I'll be like, okay, no, this is crap. But if it comes back still with the same Nigerian, Kenyan, a little bit of Spain, a little bit of this, and also Irish, then I'll be like, okay, now the percentages don't necessarily have to match up, but I do think myancestry.com has a stronger database, a bigger database, and they might have better facilities that are able to give you more accurate numbers, because I do know that a lot of these tests only go based off your maternal side and not your paternal side, so that is something to look into as well. If you want to do both sides, also you want to look into, is it giving you a general percentage, or is it giving you an actual, you know, like, here's your mother, here's your father, and this is the breakdown percentage, and then we just added those together. So something to think about. But let me know what you all think, if you all have tried it, and if you all think it's legit or worth my time, and I will be happy to answer those for you. But thank you all for watching this quick video, and I hope to see you all soon.